Shalom, shalom, Yahshua Allah. We'll start off first things first, giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rahakadash, which in the Paleo Hebrew tongues, created names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to you, sister brothers living is true, and shalom to the brothers and sisters that's listening and studying to show themselves approved. Shalom. Okay, Yahshua Allah. I had a dream last night, a dream about spiritual power. And I'm gonna do my best to walk you through it because it was so vivid, man. It seems so real, and it's just kind of like my dream I had. I could walk it right through the scriptures. So let me see. I'm gonna start you out how it began. So in my dream, Yashrala, I'm starting off in a waiting room. It looks like a hospital waiting room, and I'm just in there waiting. It's just me by myself, and I'm sitting in there and I'm waiting. And I'm in the waiting room, and what's in my lap is a crown. It looks similar just to this. It seemed like it was made of like either iron or some type of rock-like substance, but it looked just like that, man. Kind of like the crown of Black Adam. So I'm in the waiting room. I got a crown in my lap, and I'm just waiting. I'm just sitting there. And I had like this anxious feeling on me, as if, I was waiting on somebody. And I was. So I'm in the waiting room with the crown on my lap. And all of a sudden, the door opens up. And when the door opened up, you get that. When the door opens up, man, it is no other than, I don't know why I did that. Yahweh Shah shows up. It's Yahweh Shah right there, hey, in the presence, in my face. And he looked just like that, but he had a garments like we wear, but real, like man, that garment was decked out. I'm talking about diamonds, gold, like some out of this world garment he had on. And it was shaped, it was built just like ours, like a little throw over, the garment of sackcloth we wear, but Yahweh Shah's was decked out in rubies, all kinds of sparkling gems. I mean, it was like, man, magnificent. He came in, he had the white, the white fro, the white beard, and his eyes looked like that. I'll never forget that. He had shining eyes that looked like the sun. They glowed. And I knew it was Yahweh Shah. He was like, and he told me, man, he hit me, like when he spoke, it's like everything hit me real hard. Like it made me like real emotional, like cry. And he was like, I know you've been waiting on me. I know you've been waiting on me. And like one of the first thing he said is like, there goes my devil slayer. And I mean, I was driven to my feet. Like, I was so happy to see Yahweh Shah. When I seen him, it was like breathtaking. Because like I said, his eyes had a powerful glow to him. And then like his whole garment, everything, I just knew it was Yahweh Shah. And everything he said to me was powerful. And he was like, he looked at me, he was like, I see what you got there. He's like, let me see it. And I handed the crown to Yahweh Shah. And like I said earlier, my crown looked like that when I showed him the picture earlier. Now, when it got in Yahweh Shah's hands, it glowed a green color, man. It turned into like light. And it glowed this green color that I could not find on the internet. It was like a jade color green, but kind of like more turquoises. I cannot find that color green for nothing on the internet. And it glowed. The crown, it glowed green. And I put it on my head. He put it on my head. And when he put it on my head, man, hey, everything in my body lit up, Yashrala. Everything lit up. It was like I was changed. Like I felt the power. So I'm gonna go get this. And man, he looked, hey, similar, just like that, but with a way better garment on, very flashy, lots of gems. Man, it was like colorful gems too, like colorful diamonds in his garment, man. It was like, man, trimmed out with gold. It was like something, it's even hard to describe it, Yashral. It was so, man, magnificent when I seen it. And the way he spoke, and this, man, it was a big moment. So he got the crown. It lit up green. A green that I can't describe. So I'm gonna go get this precept. Cause when I had that dream, I immediately thought of this precept right here. Like, and I see why he maybe had that dream. Cause we do have a crown, man. This truth that we got, that's our crown, brothers. So I'm gonna go to Revelation 3:11. And it reads, Behold, I come quickly. Hold thy fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So in that dream, I'm in the waiting room. Symbolically, we're waiting on. Who we waiting on? We waiting on Yahweh Shah. And in that dream, he came to me. You know, I had my crown. It just looked, like some rocks or some just like iron or whatnot. And when he touched it, it turned into a green light. It lit up. Then he put the crown on my head, and it made me light up. I had, man, I felt the power, Yahshua. I felt it. So Yahshua's telling me, like, it's that time. You already know what I need you to do. So it's like, hey, you've been waiting on this, so go ahead and do it. And it's like I knew what to do. So once with the crown on my head, I was able to fly, Yahshua. I had the power of flight. And I flew way out to like the middle of the ocean, way out in the middle of the ocean. And when I go out there to the middle of the ocean, it's a bunch of warships, the like carriers, warships with all kinds, the little cannons on them and everything. It's like thousands of them. Like, I think it was so many of them, they couldn't have just been Esau's warships. It had to be like the beginning of World War III. And I guess my station was to go to the ocean and fight the warships. So I go to the warships and I'm flying. I'm flying like fast too, supersonic speed. And it's like, soon as they start to see me, I see them, they shooting their cannons off. They firing missiles at me and I'm dodging them because I'm like so fast. And like when I'm dodging them, I'm in the air and then I'm diving in the water too. I'm going up under them. I'm going up in the air. The best way I can describe it, if anybody's seen the Avatar 2 movie, and he had, when the main character was on them one type of fish, they had them like wings or whatnot, and they'll dive and go up. I was doing that. So they couldn't hit me with no missiles. The 50 cal wasn't hitting me. The cannons wasn't hitting me. Wasn't nothing hitting me. And as they're shooting, I had a power. I would throw like a ball of light that like it had a trail of smoke behind it. It looked like a missile, but it was a ball of light. And I was like hitting them, and it was like blowing them up. So it's like I had projectiles I could throw to hit the warships. So let me get a visual. The best visual I can give you, Yasharala. Let's see. Best visual I can give you. Let me go to a game. Now this is a game called Zone of the Enders. And the best visual I can give you is something like this when you see this game. Cause I had flight, man. I could go wherever I wanted to go. I could go up under the water. I could go in the air and see how they're shooting out that light like that. That's how it looked like that. But except at the end of mine was like smoke, but the tip of it was like a ball of light. So that's like the best visual I can give you. It's like that. And it was like a whole bunch of warships in the water. And I'm just destroying all of them, just blowing them up, lighting them up, and just having fun, y'all. Like, man, it was so fun, man. It's like I could feel the wind in my face. I could feel the water when I go in the water. And it was very exciting, man. I was having so much fun blowing up all them warships. They had planes coming after me. I was blowing them up. And it was very exciting, man. I was having the time of my life, y'all. The time of my life, because I felt so limitless, man. I could do whatever I wanted to do. And it looked just like this, like the best visual I can give you, man, because I was just all over the place. And it was so many ships. I mean, it was like thousands upon thousands of warships out there. And my job was to blow them all up. So that's what I was doing. And I was having the time of my life, man. Like, and it's like they couldn't hit me either. I was dodging every missile they was shooting out. Everything cannon they was trying to shoot me with. Like, I'm pretty sure if it hit me, it wouldn't have hurt me. But in my dream, I was just dodging everything. I guess I was having fun with it. So I was having fun hitting them, and then they couldn't hit me. And it was so many warships. And so I'm going to go get this right here. Let's go get this precept right here. Let's go to Isaiah 40 and 31. And this is Isaiah 40 and 31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. And in that dream, I experienced that, man. I had the power of flight, Yashrala. And like how I was flying and moving around, I wasn't getting tired. There was no, you run a little bit, get tired. I wasn't getting tired. I was just flying through all over the place, in the water, up under the water. I was flying in through their warships. Like I was getting creative. Sometimes I just fly through the ship at the hole at the bottom, and sink them like that. Fly up top. See how many I could throw out, blow it up, run over here, blow this one up. And I was just having fun with it. Like whole lots of fun. And that scripture showed, man, like we wait upon the Lord, he will renew our strength, man. When I put that crown on my head, it was over with. Like I felt the power, man. I can blow things up. Like I could charge it up, shoot the light out, and the more I charge it up, the bigger the explosion. So I was just like having fun, dealing with all my new abilities I had, seeing how fast I could fly, seeing how many I can hit. I'm laughing, dodging at them, and just having genuine fun that I ever had in a long time. And that scripture is what came to my mind right there, because I could fly. I could fly. Not only could I fly, I would go in the water, and it's like I swim at super speed. The best way I can describe it, if you watch that Aquaman movie, that DC Aquaman movie, how he was swimming, it was like that. I'm going under the water, like supersonic speed, like. And then, they couldn't even, it's like they was missing me out there. Then I pop up over here. Then they had to turn their cannons around. By the time they do that, I've been done blew them up. So I'm just having fun with it, Yashrala. Flying all over the place, blowing them up. I'm going to get another precept too to further support that. And man, it was so exciting in that dream. Oh, that was so exciting, Yashrala. So let's go to Jeremiah 49 and 22. And check this out. This is Jeremiah 49:22. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle and spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pains. Now, the scripture's talking about Yahushua primarily, because when he shows up, that's what's going to happen to Esau, man. He's going to be like, because Basra is a capital city for Edom, over there in Edom, Petra. In their area. So this is talking about how Yahushua is going to put vengeance over Edom. And like the reason I pulled is because he was using me in my dream to do that. Because like the Edomites I could see that was on the ship, when they did see it, man, they was in great fear, man. Just like a woman, she ain't pregnant, they was terrified. I could see it. And like someone would look, look in fear, and I just throw that fireball at them, and just blow that shit up, blow their whole ship up, and they was terrified because like everything they was sending at me wasn't working. Nothing they was doing was working, man. And I bet it was a terrifying sight to see, a Jake man flying at super speed and shooting out balls of fire out his hands and then blowing stuff up. I'm pretty sure that was a very fearful sight. And I could see it in their eyes. Like when they would come out, because some was trying to run. Like it was so bad, they was trying to, like, some ships was like blew up, fired up, and they was trying to jump overboard. And I would catch them, like, man, you ain't getting away, and light them up. And they was just hollering. I could hear a bunch of men hollering. They was hollering in fear. And it was exciting to me. I was like, yeah, I've been waiting on this for a long time, Esau. So he's going to use us to put fear, because like I said, it's at the heart of the mighty men. These probably prideful devils. They got their warships, all kind of missiles, so they probably thought, we're gonna blow anybody off the map. But when they seen me come through with them powers, it's like everything turned into fear. They was in great fear. They was trying to jump overboard. They was trying to get away from me, man. They was shooting. It was nothing they could do. And I'm just tearing up ships, tearing them up. So at one point, so many thousands of warships shooting at me. So I'm dodging and I'm shooting off, I'm shooting off. But I'm dodging so much, it's kind of hard for me to get off like I want to. I'm trying to make it to where, like, I'm playing a game. Like, You can't touch this. Like some MC Hammer stuff. So I'm flying around, making strategic hits and all of that. And I remember one point when I was diving in the water, I come up. One time I dived in the water and I looked down at the bottom of the ocean and I seen like two glowing things. It looked like, man, it looked like a little star or something, like a sun or something. It was two of them and they was huge, I mean, real huge, coming out the bottom of the ocean, man. I looked down like, what is that? So, I got my power, so I backs up. I flies real back because I'm trying to see what the heck is coming up from the bottom of the ocean. It's coming up, up under the whole, the whole battlefield where the ships is at. So I backs up, I swims back. Cause like, I ain't gonna even lie to you, Yashara. Like when I seen the two glowing lights, it was so huge, it made me kind of back up. Like, what's that? Like, what is that coming up? So I backs up, and as it's coming up, I'm starting to see what the figure is that's coming up. And when it's coming up on one of the bottom of the ships. Well, a couple of them, because it's huge. It's massive, Yashara. And guess what it looks like? A big old dragon came up out the ocean and started, like, it had like 3 ships in his mouth and just crushed them and created a big old explosion, man. And it came up out the sea and was just thrashing about, man. Like, it looked just like, looked just like Godzilla. And I knew what it was when I seen it. After I seen it come up, I was like, that's Leviathan. Let me go get, because I want to give you the visual what it looked like, because it looked just like Godzilla. I'm talking about just like it. Like that, Yashara. It looked just like that. And he came up out the ocean. And now one thing it ain't showing his pictures, his eyes, man. They were like glowing. And they was real bright. And it looked like, when I looked down at the ocean, I seen it. Man, I didn't know what that was at first. Like, it made me jump back. So I flew back. I flew back real far so I can get a good visual of what was coming out the ocean. And when I seen it, first I was like, oh, that's a dragon. Then, us, we in the scriptures, we know the truth. I was like, that's Leviathan, and it had scales on the back, tail. It looked just like that. It looked like it was like, it looked just like Godzilla. And when it popped up, it was really over with when that popped up, because when that hit the scene, I noticed all of Esau's warships started focusing their firepower on, him. They started trying to shoot him. And when they did that, it's like they forgot about me. So I was just picking them off, easily. Because they would focusing all their firepower on this, and it wasn't doing nothing, man. And the best way I can describe how he was acting when he popped up, he was thrashing about like a crocodile or alligator, and they do what they call a death roll. Man, Leviathan was rolling around and destroying like thousands of ships. Like, I thought I was doing some damage. When this thing showed up, man, it was taking them out by the hundreds, and it was thrashing all about, and it was flipping around, creating big old waves and knocking them all around. And I mean, it was massive, man. Like, you watch a Godzilla movie and it looked big, but in my dream, to see it that close, man, it was like, it was massive, Yashara. I'm talking about probably about 500-600 feet tall. Like, I can't even put a number on how big this thing was, man. And it made their ships look little. It was so big, and it was thrashing and twirling all around. And it's like, they couldn't even, man, get their stuff together, man. He did some damage. I thought I was doing damage. No, when Leviathan showed up, he was doing some damage. So I noticed after that, I was just picking off whatever he would miss. And like, it made it easy for me to destroy their warships, because now they weren't even shooting at me. They was too busy shooting at him that they forgot all about me. So I'm just picking them off, from the backside, picking them all off and hitting them every which way. And man, it was like, it was so much fun, man. It was like, man, it was like an action movie times 100. I was in like my own action movie. I mean, everything felt real in that dream. Like the explosions. I mean, it was just all nonstop explosions, all kinds of wreckage and carnage and destruction just everywhere you look, man. And it was like exciting to me. I'm laughing. I'm in the sky. I'm throwing stuff. I'm having fun. And I'm just like, this is everything I hope for. So let me get some precepts, because this is in the Bible. This is where these Moabites got the idea of Godzilla. And he popped up And when he popped up, oh my lord, hey, he stole the show. Leviathan stole the show. I ain't even gonna lie. I want to give myself the credit, but like when he popped up, he really did some damage. Cause he was so huge, and the way he was thrashing in the water, like they couldn't get their stuff together, man. So he made it easy for me to pick them on off. Cause they weren't even focused. They weren't even worried about me no more. You know, they thought they was scared before. They was really scared Leviathan popped up. Cause like Leviathan like shocked me for a minute. Cause I didn't know what that was coming about the bottom of the ocean. I just seen its eyes at first. And they was huge. You know, like two big balls of like a orange reddish light. And I was like, what the fuck is that? You know, so I'm backing up. You know, I flew back. I'm underwater, so it's like I jumped back, swim back, all the way back, and then I popped up to get a good visual. It was Leviathan. So check this out. This is Job 41:1. Cast thou draw Leviathan with the hook, or is his tongue with the cord, which thou lettest down? And 2, Job 41:2. Canst thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with the thorn? Those are questions, and I can answer them questions. Hell nah, you can't. That mug was too big, too massive, and just too violent. Because the way he was rolling around, you wouldn't be able to get to his mouth because he was moving too much. And the way he would roll, it was making these big tidal waves, and his tail was thrashing. It's like every move he made was devastating to the warships, man. He was just like destroying them by the thousands, the hundreds as he moved, you know. And nah, you can't put no hook in Leviathan's jaw, man. Like every missile, everything they were shooting at him wasn't doing nothing. The missiles, it wasn't doing nothing to him, man. It's like it kind of like pissed him off and made him thrash about even more. And I was like, man, y'all done for. Like, you couldn't handle me. You sure ain't gonna handle this big giant creature, man. And it was, man, it was something really amazing to see. And so I'm gonna keep reading on this. I'm gonna go Job 41:10. None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? 11. Job 41:11. Who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whosoever is under the whole heaven is mine. So basically, Yahweh Shai is saying that Leviathan is his. That's the creature he made. And Leviathan, I believe, hey, is real. In my dream, hey, man, he showed up and it was over with, man. This ain't in the scriptures for no reason. So check it out. I'm going to read on 12. Job 41:12. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. And that, man, hey, Yahweh Shai made him come up at the right time, man. He did not conceal his power. Like I said, in his parts, man. Hey, Leviathan showed up and did his thing, man. I'm talking about, man, that mug was like I think the movies don't even do it justice to what I seen. That mug was like bigger than any skyscraper. It was so massive, Yasharala. And we're gonna check out. We're gonna go to I'm gonna go down to I'll keep reading. I'm gonna hit 13 too. This is Job 41:13. Who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with this double bridle? And 14, who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. Yeah, he had some vicious teeth. And he was eating up ships. He was so big, man, he could put like 4 or 5 of them in his mouth, man. He was just crunching down, munching on them, thrashing about. His tail was knocking over all kinds of ships. And he was fretting like he was just real agitated. Like they was just pissing him off, you know, when they shoot their little missiles. And I was just looking like, y'all ain't got a chance, man. So this is Job 41:15. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a closed seal. And 16, one is so near to another that no air can come between them. So he had like armor. That's when I seen the missiles hitting him, them cannons hitting him. It was like it was doing no damage, man. There was no blood on Leviathan. They was doing no damage, man. It was just hitting them and just blowing up and doing nothing. There was no damage. And then we're going to go to 17. They are joined one to another. They stick together and they cannot be sundered. Right. Because I didn't see no type of damage, man. They was hitting him with all kinds of cannons. Because he wasn't dodging anything like me. I was dodging all the missiles and the cannon fire, the 50 cal. I was dodging everything. Leviathan didn't give a damn. You know, they was hitting them and it wasn't doing nothing but aggravating them, you know. So 18, by his nestings a light doth shine. His eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Woo, so true. So true. That's exactly what I've seen in my dream, Yashua. I said his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. So what I can give it, his eyes are like the sun, and that's what it looked like. It looked like two balls of the sun coming up out the ocean. And it was so big, you know, for a minute, I didn't know what it was at first. I just seen them, and it was coming up with speed, and it was coming up at me, you know, because I looked down and seen it coming, and it was two balls of light, and it looked just like the sun, like the scripture said right there. It looked like the sun, man. It was like a bright reddish, like a orange red, kind of like the sun when it sets. When you see the sun setting, it looked like that. And it was two of them. It was coming up, and I was like, "Oh man, that's that creature's eyes looking like that." So I backed on back, like, you know, because I didn't know if that was for me or them or what. But when it came up and I seen it, I knew immediately what it was. I like, that's Leviathan. So I already knew that was for Esau, and he did a mighty job, because then they couldn't focus on me no more. They focused their firepower on him, and it made it easy for me to pick them on off. So that's exactly what I seen, Yasharala. So where was we at? 19. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leapeth out. Now I didn't see him get to breathe any fire. I didn't see that in my dream. I'm pretty sure he can, because Godzilla can. And I see these Moabites got that idea from this. I didn't get to see that. In my dream, he was just thrashing about like an alligator or a crocodile. He kept rolling around, and just swapping, you know, almost like he couldn't swim or something. He was just thrashing about, you know, real angry like, you know. And I'm going to keep on, where was I at? On 20. Out of his nostrils go a smoke, as out of a seething pot of a cauldron. His breath kindle coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. That's where you get Godzilla from, man. You know? Now, I didn't get to see that in my dream, but I'm pretty sure he has that ability. You know? And they go 22. And his neck remained of strength, and sorrow turneth into joy before him. Yeah, I know they had sorrow. Esau had much sorrow when they seen Leviathan show up, because it was, man, he created straight ruckus, man, straight wreckage when he showed up. I mean, at a high level, because he was so huge. He was so huge, man. I'm talking about like bigger than a mountain. You know, so where we at? 23. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. So check it out. Here go 25. Job 41:25. When he raises up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings, they purify themselves. Yeah, man. When he raised himself up out that water and jumped up out that water, I'm pretty sure they was so afraid. Because, like, when I seen his eyes, you know, I got my spiritual power this time, y'all. When I seen Leviathan's eyes, you know, it put some little fear in me. I had to back on up, man. Like, what the heck is that? You know, when I seen it, I'm like, whoa, it's a huge dragon. And he's not playing no games, man. He had the wrath of Yahweh Shai in him. And he was destroying all their warships. All their ships was getting towed up, man. I'm talking about he was tipping them over, slashing them, blowing them up, eating them, flinging them. And I was joining in on it too, man. I was having fun. He wasn't even worried about me. He was too busy destroying the ships. So I was just backing him up. Like, everything he missed, I was picking it up. You know, and laughing and having fun. Check it out on 26. The sword of him that laugh at him cannot hold. The spear, the dart, nor the harbian. I bet that's like a harpoon. And that precept is true, man. Every weaponry Esau had, the cannons, the rail guns, the missiles, man, wasn't nothing doing nothing to Leviathan. Nothing. And they couldn't hit me. I was too fast. Everything they shot at me, I was dodging it, man. You know, and laughing at them. So they was getting nowhere. And on 27, it says, he esteemed iron as straw and brass as rotten wood. And that's true, because that metal was nothing, man. He was slashing through their ships, flinging them over. It's like he was playing with some paper or something, you know, and he was ripping them apart. He was biting them, eating them up. So, hey, like I said, iron was like straw to him, man. And you know, them ships is made of metal, steel. You know, he was ripping them ships up like they was little play toys. You know, I was blowing them ships up like little play toys, man. I'm blowing them up. He eating them up, throwing them around, and we just destroying Esau's whole. Because that couldn't have just been Babylon the Great's warships. I think that was like probably Russia's too, China's. I think that was like all their warships was getting towed up because it was thousands upon thousands of them, and we ran through them things like it was nothing. You know, I had some pretty good backup. So check it out. I'm gonna keep reading on 28, Job 41:28. The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. Basically talking about the weaponry, man. It was nothing they could do. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. You know, so he was just playing with him. I'm up here, I'm laughing, you know, because I'm like, man, y'all finished, man. So we making short work of y'all. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. He maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. Yeah, man, you seen that, man. It was like, hey, I was called her Lord Yahweh Shah. I'm an Israelite, and thank the Lord he on my side, because you would not want to go against that thing, man, when you seen it, man. And number 33, upon earth there is none his like who is made without fear. And that's true. I mean, I've been ain't no creature on the planet like Leviathan, man. Nothing. And 34, he beholdeth all high things. He is king over all the children of pride. So, hey, man, me and Leviathan show Esau what to do. And that dream, man, I had so much fun, Yashra, just running through Esau's stuff, man. That spiritual power was on full display, brothers. Full display. Like, it's coming, man. And it's like, I woke up at 3 in the morning. Man. And the first thing I did was get a drink of water. Because that's how intense that dream was. I got a drink of water, and I couldn't even go back to sleep after that. Like, I just had to, go ahead and wait and do my little morning thing. Because I couldn't go back to sleep after that. I woke up at like 3 something in the morning. And the whole time after I woke up, because I was angry when I woke up. Because the dream felt so real. I thought it was really happening. I thought I really, we in Jacob's trouble. I got my spiritual power. I'm thinking that was real because it felt real. The water felt real. The air felt real. It felt real. So when I woke up, I was angry. Like, I'm back here. Like, damn. So I just meditated on that dream and just started filtering it through the scriptures. Everything Yahushua showed me. Because I was like, man, that was such a great dream. That was a sweet dream because I had so much fun, Yashara. Like, I haven't had fun like that in a long time. And in that dream, I was like having the time of my life, doing what I want to do, which was doing what, man? Destroying Esau's, his whole military, breaking his sword. And I got to see a creature, that you wouldn't think exists, a mystical creature, man. It was like, man, to me, like, what I'm reading and the stuff don't do it justice what I seen, Yashara. It don't do it justice what I seen. Because what I seen was so magnificent. I say even meeting Yahushua, when I seen Yahushua, like, that right there was breathtaking, man. And like, as he spoke, every word he spoke to me was like doing something to me, man. I remember just like crying when I seen him. And I just crying. Like, everything he said to me was powerful. It hit me to like my spirit on everything he was saying to me, man. And then like when he lit that crown up, and he told me like, you know what you need to do. And it's like I knew where to go. Like, it's like he sent me out to the middle of the ocean. I don't know what part I was at. I just know it was the straight open ocean and a bunch of warships. And hey, man, like, hey, I did what Yahushua told me to do. I've got to destroying all their warships. And when I started meditating back on it, I just think on it, man. It was so, man, seeing Yahushua, like, I notice now when I like think of Yahushua, I don't think of a white man Jesus. No, man, I get the image. Let's go back to that. Because that was powerful. This image, man. I get that image. And his eyes, like, unlike this image, his eyes in my dream, they were like the sun. They was kind of like Leviathan's eyes when I seen them. Like, they were more like a yellowish, orangish type of color. They was real bright, And when he spoke, it's like his voice, it echoed. Now I see why I said his voice sounded like many waters, because it was like not only was it deep, but it had an echo to it. The best way I kind of describe it, like it sounded like it was many, like it was a lot of voices talking, and it echoed every time he talked to me. And man, it was just, man, the garment Yahusha had on was just like, whew, like, he sure came back in his glory, man, when he showed me in that dream, because that garment was just, I'm talking about the rubies, the gems, I'm talking about, you think these rappers is balling? Nah, man, what Yahusha had on, man, this is his eyes, his voice, man, it was powerful, Yasharala. So powerful, man. I feel like we really getting to that point for dreams to be getting intense like that. And it's spiritual. And I notice like everything I watch now be about spiritual power. That's all I think about now is the spiritual power aspect, of our gospel. Because you got that type of power. I had fun, Yashua. I was having fun. That was fun. Because I feel like I could do what I wanted to do. As far as like being free, I could fly. Like that flight, man, that power of flight, man, that was like, it's hard to even describe it, man. I can't, I'm doing my best to try to describe it, but really words can't describe it, Yasharala. So I just wanted to put this quick dream out there, testimony I had. Very exciting dream, sweet dream. I wish I wouldn't have woke up. And I just want to put that out there to the nation, let you know, like we real close. Like the power is coming, Akim. We about to get that power. We get that power, Akim. Like Esau's not gonna be able to stop us at all. There's nothing he got, man. Whatever little weapon he got is not gonna do nothing, man. Cause the way I could move in my dream, the way I was moving, man, I was so fast, man. Like they couldn't hit me with no missiles. The cannons weren't working. Like, and I was like, man, it was like child's play. I think I was just getting started, like, cause I was up there testing out my abilities to see what I can do. it was fun. It was real fun, y'all, Astralis. With that being said, man, I hope this is edifying. I hope it was very comforting. I had, man, that was, I hope that comes into reality, Yashrala. I hope that comes into reality. So I want to say, Kwam Yashrala, Detail Baba Ball, Shalom.